Why can't we be humble like the good Lord said? He promised to exalt us, but lo is the way.
Keyboard legend and fifth Beatle, Billy Preston, has died after a long illness as a result of a malignant hypertension. As a result of the medical condition, Billy had been in a deep coma since last November 21st, but was still struggling to recover. Preston died at Shea Scottsdale Hospital in Scottsdale, Arizona, where he lived the last couple of years. Preston was often called the fifth Beatle because he played keyboards on Let It Be, The White Album, and Abbey Road. Preston was also part of Eric Clapton's longtime touring band, and even had his own hits, which included Nothing for Nothing, Will It Go Round in Circles, and You Are So Beautiful, which Joe Cocker turned into an international hit. Preston also was invited by George Harrison to perform at the Concert for Bangladesh, which was the first charitable event put on by musicians. We caught up with Preston at the DVD release in Los Angeles just last year to talk about working with George on the Concert for Bangladesh, which also included a star-studded list of musicians like Eric Clapton, Ringo Starr, Leon Russell, and Bob Dylan, who all came out to lend a hand for George Harrison's worthy cause.
Well, it was special for me because George personally asked me to be a part of it, and it's also a pleasure because I got a chance to work with, artists we don't normally get a chance to play with, Leon Russell and Eric and all the musicians that were there. It was very special. There was no egos. Everybody, was happy to be there, and it was just a joy, and the whole room was full of love.
Recently, Preston finished up a Beatles tribute album he was working on. He was also planning with Eric Clapton's band later this year. Unfortunately, due to his illness, Preston was unable to tour with Clapton, but he still was able to release the Beatles tribute album, which allowed him to record these songs in his own interpretation.
Well, I'm working on a Beatle tribute album, and I'm also getting ready to go back out with Eric Clapton next year. You're taking it on the road again. It's a pleasure to do these songs. I love a lot of the Beatles songs, and I'm getting a chance to do them the way I interpret them. So,
Preston was actually mentored by Ray Charles, and in the early 60s, Billy went to Europe with Little Richard playing in Hamburg. The Beatles were the opening act on that tour, and the rest, as you say, is history. One of Preston's last guest appearances was playing the clavinet on the tune Warlocks, which appears on the Red Hot Chili Peppers' new album, Stadium Arcadium.